tough numbers here as soaring inflation causes a political headache for the president. As this new poll just out about an hour ago, this is an AP NORC poll. It says that 67% of Democrats find the economy, they view it as poor. That's a 30-point increase over last year. Obviously, an enormous jump, and we've seen what happened to inflation over that period of time. So the economy is also dragging down national optimism on the whole, with 78% of Democrats saying that the country is headed in the wrong direction. That's a huge number, 78% from the president's own party, who think that things are not going the right way. That's an increase of 12 points just among Democrats over the course of the last month. So these are very consequential numbers that we're seeing. With that, we bring in Reince Priebus, former White House chief of staff for President Trump, now president of the Michael Best law firm, and Leslie Marshall, Democratic commentator and Fox News contributor. Welcome to you both. Leslie, let me start with you. What's your reaction to these numbers among Democrats?
I'm not surprised, Martha, and I think this is the reason why the party in power loses since World War II on the average 26 seats in the House, 4 seats in the Senate. It is the economy, stupid, like James Carville said back in '92. But it's not just the economy, it's who they blame for it. The president himself said that he and the party in power would be blamed. That is typical, whether it's a Democrat or Republican, and whether they have all the House, the Senate, and the White House, and also the way it's presented. If people feel that inflation, if people feel that gas prices are all the president's doing, the party in power is doing, then they're going to feel that way, rather than if they look at factually, this is a global economic issue. When you have places like Norway with $10 plus a gallon, and other countries that certainly Joe Biden and Democrats are not in charge of. But I'm not surprised at these numbers. Certainly, is it worrisome coming up with the midterms? Absolutely, but not surprised.
Yeah, I don't know that the international comparisons work with most American voters, because I think that generally, as a population, we expect to handle things better here, to be more efficient, to have more efficient, markets that handle these. Reince, when you look at these numbers and you look at the fact that they have gone south a lot in the past month, and that's during a time, and Leslie talked about the messaging, which I think is a good point, that the messaging has been this is Putin's fault, Putin's war, Putin's war. It sounds like that's not working.
Yeah, it's just not going to work, Martha, and I think you're right. People don't say, well, we're going to give President Biden a pass because things are bad everywhere. The reality is that you cannot hang on to power if people aren't happy. And right now, people aren't happy. They're not feeling good about their future. It doesn't matter whether you've saved up $10,000 in the bank in savings or $10 million. You are not feeling better today than you were 2 or 3 years ago, and that's just a fact. I think one of the bigger issues here for Democrats going into the midterms is that when you peel back all these numbers, what you see in that Democrat number is that only 20% of all Democrats strongly support Joe Biden. And that is a huge problem. If you're running an operation in Wisconsin or Pennsylvania for a Democrat, and 20% of all of your available workers, people putting up the yard signs, the lid drops, only 20% feel good about their own president. You're going to have a hard time filling a phone bank if you're a Democrat.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much, Leslie and Reince. Good to see you both.
You bet.